Hi everybody, welcome to our WriterAccess review. So to kind of give you an idea of what WriterAccess is, it is a content writing service that kind of leverages both AI and human writers, I guess you could say, in order to create content for you. It is probably one of the largest freelance writer marketplaces around, so it's definitely one to check out. So let's take a look at some of, like the pros and cons that we have and dive in a little deeper. All right, so there are definitely some pros here with writer access. Like you have the ability to really hire some expert writers in several different fields. I'm showing right now a screenshot of what it looks like when you're looking for writers, and there's a ton of different industries that you can choose from with writers who are actually experts in those fields. So that is definitely a plus. All right, and they also do a lot of pre-vetting and whatnot for their writers. They also employ a star rating system for them as well, so that you can kind of have like a really good idea of where they kind of fall on their ability as a writer and their expertise. So with the pre-vetting, they do a lot of rigorous screening on like the applicants or the writer's education, their writing expertise, how knowledgeable they are with SEO and social media, and kind of like the extent of their online authority. They all the writers have to be native speakers, native English speakers. And so, the applications are really only accepted from, residents who speak English natively, so that, like the US, UK, New Zealand, all of those. You can actually select writers based on their country and their state as well. And to just kind of give you a better idea of some of the things that go into scoring the writers and whatnot, like they require multiple forms of ID and checking IP addresses and all that kind of stuff when they're logged in, just to make sure that they're native speakers. And then of course the star rating is, which I mentioned before. So they're assigned like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 stars, depending on, like what their profile details. So like their industry experience and their writing proficiency and stuff like that. Like they actually make them demonstrate it, give different types of writing tests and that sort of thing. So, of course, the writer's star levels can increase or decrease depending on, algorithms and that sort of thing. That's based on those algorithms check out like completed orders, the reviews from clients, and even blind editor ratings that are based on that come from the platform itself, which is pretty cool. Like I said, very rigorous. And that's exactly what you want in writers, and especially with a platform that has clients like Microsoft and 3M and AAA and all that. You would expect them to have a good writer base to pull from. All right, this is also what allows them to offer a money back guarantee, which is great. So if you don't like the work and the revisions that you're able to get, then they will actually replace it with another writer, or I should say replace the current writer that you've chosen with a different one, and or refund you the money. So that's pretty cool. All right, another great feature that they have to help you find writers, because you do have to hire the writers. You are not assigned one, so you have to figure out which one on the platform works best for you. And one of the ways they help you do that is through AI driven search functions. So you can really narrow down your search based on, like profile and keywords. You can also even post a job and have people apply to it rather than having to search for them yourself. All right, so their customer success specialists are really great. So if you have an issue or anything like that, You can, kind of escalate it and bring it to their attention. But let's say you just can't find the type of expert writer that you're really looking for. They can actually kind of dive in a little bit deeper and find some really specific experts for you. And they were, I've talked to them on the phone. They were super helpful and very warm. So that was really nice to hear from for the customer success specialists. All right, their dashboard is super comprehensive. So, you can really find anything from, like making sure your searches are on point and managing, even if you're an individual or if you are part of a team of writers and editors that are using this service, this dashboard will work for everyone. Um, I also really like the fact that when you have a post created with them, you get 2 royalty-free images along with it. You can, of course, pay for additional royalty-free images, or you can even go one step further and get some premium stock images from like Getty or Shutterstock as well. But you do get those 2 free ones initially, which is, pretty helpful. And lastly, this kind of goes back to the dashboard thing where you can actually, once you have found some writers that you like, you can save them. The number of writers that you can save depends upon which plan you've chosen. So if you go for the starter package, I believe it was about 5 writers that you could save as your favorite. And it goes up from there with each of the different plans. So that is super helpful for keeping track of which writers were the ones that you really liked. So as far as the cons go, there are a few of them that you definitely want to make sure that you consider. Okay. So the first one is that, having a huge platform is great. You have a lot of writers on there to choose from. But, it might feel a little bit overwhelming because you do have to pick those. You have to hire these people. They are not chosen for you, which is what some of the other, I guess you could say smaller services offer. They just automatically assign you a writer and, that's that. But with WriterAccess, you have to be the one, kind of like you do with Upwork, where you have to do the legwork of figuring out who you think would be great, interviewing them, making sure that they're a good fit for the project, making sure that their word count, or I should say, like their per word price fits within your budget, that sort of thing. So make sure that you kind of take that into consideration because if you're just looking to really get some content quick without having to look at who's going to do the writing initially, then WriterAccess might not be the best spot for you. But if you're okay with trying to build a relationship and hire that person, then this is definitely something that you would be okay with. Okay, let's talk about pricing because these are the 2 biggest cons and my 2 last cons actually. They kind of go together, which is, the platform fee. To give you an idea of what that is, it's just a monthly fee that you still have to pay just to get access to WriterAccess. And that's not for any actual articles. So you have that one. And then as my next one says, you have, variable per word writing costs. Okay. So the writers actually get to determine what their per word pricing is. So like if you have like a 6-star writer, it could be upwards of $2 a word, which, for 1,000 word article, that can get pretty expensive pretty fast. Even at a 5-star writer, that can get expensive, especially when you take into consideration that the platform fee can be anywhere from $49 for the smallest or the starter plan all the way up to $599 monthly. So I don't know that, like I said, the cost kind of sometimes can get a little bit out of hand. So you want to be judicious and really look at your budget and make sure that it will work for you. When you're comparing it to other places like Panda Copy, which only charges per word per article, Or you have the option of having an unlimited plan, which you pay similar prices to writer copy, but for an unlimited number of articles. And these are all human written articles from Panda Copy. It's kind of a little bit of a balancing act, and you really need to consider that particular area. All right, so the main question is WriterAccess worth it? And I'm going to say no, based on some of the other products that I have reviewed and looked at myself. I'm going to say no. If it were me and I was in the market for this, then I would pass and go more toward Panda Copy. And that's because it offers a much easier pricing plan. Like, I don't have to worry about a monthly fee. I can just pay per word if that's what I want to do. Or I have the option of doing unlimited services for a monthly fee, which totally makes sense, but I wouldn't pay per word then either. So at WriterAccess, it is both. You have both a monthly fee and a per word negotiation with the writer or editor, because they do have editors on there. But again, this is just one of those things that I don't necessarily, kind of in the big con section, I guess you could say. Also, one of the other things is that WriterAccess uses both AI and human written content. And I feel like if you're going to pay a premium for the content, then it should be human written. You shouldn't need AI to assist with that, which is what you get over at Panda Copy. You do get straight human text. And that's just me being picky about how I spend my money. So yeah, there are those things. Now, if, like I said, to be fair, using AI and a human writer, you are going to be able to produce things, at scale. So it might be a little bit of a faster turnaround. And you're going to be able to have a blog post that is much more publish ready than if you were just comparing it to AI generated text alone. But again, you really want to look at the budget and see if it's really worth it to use WriterAccess, because like I said, you can look at our pricing or at the pricing that we talk about in the article and kind of, do the math a little bit there for you. So like I said, just make sure that what you're paying for is worth what you're paying for. So that's my main thing. All right, that's all I have for my WriterAccess review. If you would like to take a look at the article and, to kind of deep dive a little bit more into some of the alternatives, some more about the pricing, then definitely check that out. Also, if you have any kind of questions or anything like that, please feel free to shoot us an email over at DDIY. And I hope you have a great day.